Yo, Counter Attack Podcast with myself, Daps. Guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all of that good stuff. Right, I've been away in Nigeria. I'm in the middle of, in fact, let me even say what I was doing in Nigeria. So I was away with the Nigeria captain, William Troost-Ekong. He had his big charity match, big foundation match out there, and I was doing a bit of TV work, covering the match, rolling around with him, getting ready for the big day, going back to Uyo, which is another place in Nigeria, and doing some charity work for his foundation. And it was so good, man. Obviously, while I'm out there, got content with, the people that were playing in the match, so Ndidi, Boniface, Tolu, Arokodare, Victor Osimhen, Will himself. It was just a really, really good cause, man, and great day out, man. And I'm just happy that he let me be a part of it, man. And yeah, man, it was really, really good, man. It was really, really good. And I'm in the middle of editing. Basically, I'm doing my own editing in terms of putting like a vlog out, and that's my first time really doing something like that in terms of doing my own editing. So hopefully it could be out within the next week or so, or I'll just start staggering. Maybe I'll do like one day each, or I might just condense everything into like a 15-minute vlog. So we'll see. But yeah, man, I'm back. And anyone that watches this who's good with like the whole streaming setup, let me know what I need for me to start streaming on Twitch and everything properly, because I really want to just, tap in and start doing all of that stuff, man. So let me know. But listen, very quick video, just to, get it back and just to kickstart the algorithm again. I think I'm frustrated with Arsenal, to be honest. And I think the reason why I'm frustrated with Arsenal, am I frustrated with them? I don't know. I feel like I'm frustrated with Arsenal subconsciously, but then I'm like, nah, this is just what Arsenal do. And the reason why I'm frustrated with them is because you're seeing all these other teams go out and do their business and do it early and at least attempt to like get the right players that they need in first. But Arsenal are just forever just doing things, in different orders. So still now, no striker. We know that's the number one priority position. We've got a midfielder in. We've got two midfielders in. We've lost who is basically our best midfielder. We've lost him, so which has definitely weakened the team. But people don't want to talk about that, but cool. Getting the goalkeeper, and I'm seeing links with Madueke, but everything but the striker. Now, if all of these things happen and the striker comes in last, happy days. But I think a lot of anxiety is being had amongst Arsenal fans, because the longer it goes on, and I know there's still a while to go, it's like until we at least get that striker in, which is the priority. It's all good making all these other signings, but if we don't get that striker in, it's going to be catastrophic. So until that one gets over the line, it's very hard for Arsenal fans to even get excited about all these other links like Eze and Crickets. Eze, that's it. So, yeah, and on that, I do want to talk about the Thomas Partey thing. So Thomas Partey has officially left Arsenal, and he is, my opinion, I don't know if anyone's going to agree with me. Forget all the... See, this is the thing. You can't even talk about Thomas Partey anymore without whatever. So, let me just speak football. If I speak football terms only, Thomas Partey was Arsenal's best midfielder last season. For me, I don't know. I know people might say Declan Rice and stuff like that, but for me, Thomas Partey was the one. And I think not enough is being said about the fact that we've let him go. Yes, we're bringing in Zubimendi and Norgard, but that weakens our midfield. It weakens our team dramatically. So, you're asking for Norgard and Zubimendi to be able to come in and do what Partey does. And not to say that they can't do it, but we just don't know. We don't know how signings are going to hit. We don't know how signings are going to go for us. So, I'm really surprised that they let him go. And yes, they got Norgard in and Zubimendi. And I'm not mad at the Norgard one. I think for a squad player, Norgard is good. I think Jorginho going and Norgard being the natural replacement for him, as opposed to the replacement for Partey and Zubimendi coming in. I think that's very. I think it's only good business if Arsenal end up doing the right things in regards to the other positions, like get a striker in and get backup winger in. I'm happy with the Eze links, but again, it's just links. This is what Arsenal do. Until someone shows me a picture of Eze holding up an Arsenal shirt, it means nothing to me. But I just need them to just get that striker over the line. And again, it's gone a bit quiet. I'm not really hearing anything recently in regards to any movement or if the deal's got any closer. But again, this is why I say let's just wait and see where Arsenal are at the end of the window, because I could be crying now. They're not bringing in anyone and whatnot. And then when the window closes, we might have the striker, we might have the midfielder, we might have the winger that we need. But the problem is that we all have PTSD. We all have PTSD with Arsenal, where the things that they should be doing, they just don't do. Do you get what I'm saying? So, you know, we're going to see what happens with that. Other teams are doing business. You know, Chelsea today brought in João Pedro, which is a good signing, João Pedro. And Chelsea are, you know, given another 7-year contract. What I think Chelsea are missing, and what I think is going to be more evident again next season, even though, you know, their players are a year on in this project, and you know, they've grown and matured a bit more, they still need those experienced players. And I don't care how good in terms of potential your players are, you need experience in your team. And if Chelsea are going to push on from Champions League and challenge in the Champions League, you're going to have those experienced players in and around you. And we saw so many times last season when Chelsea are flying, they're flying because, you know, it's just what confidence does. But when your backs are against the wall, when you're in the trenches, in those moments, you need your experienced players to just rally round and just, you know, grab the game by the scruff of the neck. And Chelsea don't have that. So yes, you know, they're buying players with great potential and players who, like João Pedro, like Liam Delap, who have performed well in the Premier League so far. But for me to think that Chelsea might be challengers for the title, I think they definitely do need to get those experienced players and also get in a good goalkeeper, which I can't see them doing right now because, you know, but the window hasn't closed yet. So, yeah, that's just one to keep an eye on to see if they do get any of those players in. What else have I got on my list? Chelsea business. Okay, so, yeah, Arsenal are linked with Madueke because I was talking about Chelsea. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not having that. And people might talk about him being a backup for Saka and whatnot, but I think we've seen enough of Noni Madueke to, in terms of the level needed right now, Madueke for me isn't at that level. Can he get to that level? Maybe, but he's not at that level right now. And I think if, let's say, Saka was to get injured or you need a starter on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, for what we need right now, and like I said, the caliber of player we need, even as a squad player, I just don't think Noni is the answer. And that's just me saying it straight. And so I'm hoping that these links are just links and that's it. I don't really want that to happen. The one I do want to happen is Ebere Eze. And for me, Ebere Eze coming to Arsenal would actually be a genuinely exciting transfer. That's not me overhyping it because I support Arsenal. In fact, it is me overhyping it. You know, too many times we get players in, we don't really know much about them, or we have to wait to see if they can produce whatever it is that you hope that they can produce. But with Eze, there's genuinely a player who can push on to become a world-class player, who is currently a problem in the Premier League in terms of his output. He is one of the best players in the league, and if Arsenal were to get him, it would be a statement signing. It would almost be a marquee signing. Do you get what I'm saying? And I just think that they need to just push that and get that over the line. If we're talking creativity, if we're talking about players that can make things happen and players that can score and players that are versatile and always cause problems, and also he would fit into the Arsenal system, you get him in all day long. Don't wait until another team comes in and gets him, and you're looking at him thinking, oh, we should have got him. Just get him in. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I think for Arsenal, the creative burden was on Odegaard, and Odegaard didn't perform last season. And now if we've got another player that can come in and take that load off Odegaard, you know, we might, number one, even see a better Odegaard for that. And number two, we just become a free-flowing team again. None of this rigid football. Get players in that can make stuff happen. You know, we've seen Man City get in like a Shirky. We've seen Chelsea get the Yao Pedros. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and we've seen Liverpool get in the Florian Wirtz. I think it's so important right now in terms of, you know, the teams at the upper level, in terms of having a player that can really create and really be that hub of creation. You need that. And Arsenal missed that severely last season because Odegaard was just, I don't know what he was on last season. But if we can get Eze in, then it takes the burden away from Odegaard. So that's one to keep an eye out on. Hopefully, that is one that happens. It makes sense, but Arsenal don't really do things that make sense all the time. So, what else is there? Club World Cup. You know, we're talking about South American teams in the Club World Cup, you know, getting out these English teams or the European teams. And there's been a whole debate on if these South American teams can basically match the European teams at the highest level. And I think Alexis McAllister. How can I forget McAllister's name? Alexis McAllister, yeah, it's got to be. 1 second. Yeah, Alexis McAllister. How can I just forget his name like that? I think Alexis McAllister said it correctly where he got it bang on when he said for one or two games they can match these teams, but over the course of a season he doesn't think that they would be able to. And I believe that. I think when you're going into these games, 11 versus 11, one game cup competition, these teams can do it, and over the course of a season it won't be that way. What I will say though is that the level at which they're able to, do you know what it is? These teams just don't have time to be doing rigid tactical football. Their thing is, we've got technique and we've got vibes, and we're just going to go machine for machine. And teams like Inter, teams like City, it's almost as if they're not used to teams dealing with them like that. Do you get what I'm saying? They're used to chess pieces. Whereas, you know, even we saw with Al-Hilal, I don't know how to pronounce their names, getting Man City out of it. We're seeing teams who are just ready to just go and play and force teams to actually have to defend and force teams to always have to be switched on. You know, these teams are playing with no fear. And I think in those one-off games, that's what's needed. I don't think the way they play over the course of a season would do well, but you know what? It's helping to make the Club World Cup better for me, in my opinion. I think the games in the earlier games where you got all these joker teams, yeah, it weren't really happening. But I think now in the last couple, like the last round especially, I think we're starting to see better contested games and higher quality games and more exciting games, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And I know a lot of people are talking about it's a bunch of rubbish and whatnot, but for me, like I said, I've enjoyed this. You're seeing football that is just free flowing a lot of the time, end to end games, and that's what I want to see. I don't want to see this team going up against this team and it's just chess pieces and it ends up being 1-0. Nah, I'm ready to see great saves. I'm ready to see great goals. I'm ready to see good skills, and the South American teams especially are bringing that to the tournament. And I think it's kind of shocked these teams. Hence why you're seeing teams like Man City go out and whatnot. But what else is there to say? Oh, the last thing I'm gonna finish on. So I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple weeks ago I spoke about Tolu Arokodare. They're gonna butcher me for my pronunciation. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about Tolu Arokodare signing for a new agency. And this agency has some good players on their book. So I was just like, he's definitely going to get a move. And now I'm seeing him linked with, you know, Manchester United, Fulham, Burnley, I'm seeing him linked with. And, you know, I think he got something like 24 goals in that 40 games last season. I don't know. Let me just, fact checkers can correct that later on. But in my opinion, if we're talking strikers and we're talking about teams that need strikers and just need guys to get a good 10 to 15 goals minimum, he is a solid bet for that. I think when you're looking at players who's got everything, he can run in behind, he can hold up the ball, he can score goals, he can finish, he can head. Listen, that player there, whoever gets Tolu Arokodare, is laughing. They are absolutely laughing, because you're getting a player who not many people will actually know about him like that. And I think he's got enough about him to go on and become a top striker. So you get him in now, you invest your stocks in this player right now. And remember, I'm saying it, if he goes to a Premier League team, he will be a hit, my opinion, and mark my words. So, yeah, so that's it from me. Let me know what else we need to talk about. Like I said, if there's anyone that can help me with like setting up the whole streaming thing, content will be flowing much easier, because then I can just stream all the time as well. But yeah, that's it from me. I'm out.